Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, welcoming you back to Gunshot Wound Theater in what will no doubt be another unspeakably bloody episode of XCOM, The Long War II. Yeah, a lot of gunshot wounds in here, lot of gunshot wounds. So much so that it's starting to look like the inside of an airport strip club at 10:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. I've been sitting here for the last couple days, and I just keep waiting for Tanya Harding to walk up to me, cigarette glued to her bottom lip by a thick strand of saliva, whiskey on her breath, and have her say to me, "Hey, sailor, fancy a twirl in the champagne room? I know it looks like there's a lot of miles on these tires, but let me assure you, fella, there's still some tread on them." And then you just, like, shudder and puke in your mouth a little bit. You're like, just, no, thank you, ma'am, no, just no. I'm saying no to both Tanya's admittedly generous offer and also to the whole everybody gets shot on every mission thing. We have got to do better, or soon we're just going to reach a point where we don't have anybody to go on a mission. It's just going to have a month where everybody is in the hospital, and that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Also, there's another thing I think we got to begin doing too, which is being willing to abandon like lower priority missions for something that's a little more important. Just like when Tanya Harding breaks off in the middle of trying to sell me on that whole champagne room twirl, because one of her regulars named Jim Big Rig Riggins just walked in the door, and Jim has a fetish for gunshot wounds and is free with his cash, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, don't you judge Tanya Harding, man. Them kids gotta eat. Kids gotta eat. Okay, so this is just going to give us alloys and Illyrium, two things with which we're desperate to have, although not quite as desperate as we are for supplies, but we should just be able to investigate this and pick up some stuff. Alien machinery cleared. Okay, so our engineers have done... All right, fantastic. Alien machinery got us 40. Okay, so I think we'll just have them start on this then as well. I'm sorry, Susan. I'm sorry, Roland. I know you guys had hoped for brighter careers and futures here as members of the XCOM project. But I'm beginning to think that the whole engineer title as part of Team XCOM is sometimes like, you know how they call custodians sanitation engineers? I'm beginning to think that's the kind of engineering our guys are doing. It's not like, oh yeah, you know, I have a degree in chemical engineering from MIT. They're like, I'm a chemical engineer. You know, and that occasionally I pour some Mr. Clean on the floor and shove it around with a mop for a little bit. That's the kind of chemical engineering I'm doing on a regular basis. Hybrid materials. So this should theoretically unlock armor? Yes. Oh, tracer rounds! Okay, so nanoscale vest, don't know what that is. That's new. Tracer rounds, those were fantastic. Illyrium, combat armor, Illyrium. Laser weapons, too. We desperately need those. Disassemble drone wreck. Hazmat vest. All right. Tracer rounds it. Wait a minute. +5 to the shoot. Yeah, of course they're shittier than they used to be, because what isn't, Pete? You know, they say Pavonis giveth and Pavonis taketh away, but they fucking lieth. Because Pavonis does not giveth, they only taketh away. They really do. So tracer rounds sort of suck now, and I'm sure they have a supply cost as well. Hazmat vest, boost to hit points and immunity to fire, acid, and poison. Intriguing. So what are our new research options? Laser weapon. We don't have any Illyrium. We have no Illyrium crystals. But we're getting some right now, right? What's combat armor? It takes 50 supplies. Well, no. 15 alloys and 50 supplies? Eat it. Here's what we do then. We're going to go basic research. We're in the middle of getting some Illyrium. So we start this basic research. Just let it chew up the time. And Dr. Taggin, I'm going to interrupt you because I don't care when your full report is available. We finish doing this. Then when we get that, we go swap back and start on the laser weapons. We really need some upgraded weaponry. Reese Disorderly Witherspoon is, okay, excellent. And then we should have Winona Pockets Rider available as well. Fantastic. And we should go slap some more rookies in here, right? So let's go back to the old Guerrilla Tactics School. No rookies available. Why not? Oh, didn't we send all our rookies? We sent all our rookies out on a mission, right? Let's go to View Soldiers. Yep, rookies all left. So Tim, Koki, Smurf, Allen, Hallie, Speed Bump Barry, and Mark Big Hit Wahlberg are all already otherwise engaged. Okay. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If they're infiltrating, we won't have to waste time training them. Although I would like to have somebody we could stick in there. Can we maybe put somebody in the like looking for AWC abilities. We got Tom, small size, Sizemore. Phil the Spectre, Winona Deep Pockets Rider. Reese Witherspoon is not actually going to be available. Charlie Sheen, what can you get? Executioner, you know what? Try picking up Flashbanger. We might as well have you doing something. And also, that reminds me, we do have to go to Reese Witherspoon here, do a little resistance management. The people in Western Europe have been getting some complaints. A lot of people have been waking up in strange places with no memory of how they got there, oftentimes with their garments on either backwards, inside out, or just out and out missing. So we're going to pull the cause from his Resistance Haven management job. I'm not accusing you, Bill. I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying, you know, there is a correlation between your arrival and the reports of these incidents. And I don't think you can blame it all on the Faceless that we do know is in that Haven, by the way. We know there's a Faceless there.
Strategic resource located.
So we got 9 alloys, 12 Illyrium crystals, which is enough Illyrium. So we picked up, that's actually pretty good. We got 12, so we go back down to research.
Work is well underway.
Yeah, it's well underway, Tygan. Well, I'm here to tell you to stop immediately. I'm like every dotted line boss you've ever had. Sir, I've almost got this big project finished. Stop immediately. We got no use for that stupid project. What the hell's wrong with you? Tygan, what are you thinking? So, you gotta work on laser weapons, Tygan. You gotta work on laser weapons.
Once we have something to report, I'll notify you immediately.
Yeah, I really hope that we get those done quickly, and that also we can actually afford to build some with our pathetically anemic supplies. If they're like 100 supplies, we might as well have just never researched laser weapons, because we're never gonna be able to build any. They better be cost-effective, because I know you have to buy weapons individually now in a long war. You don't just buy them as a stock upgrade, which honestly was one thing I quite liked about the base game. It just made inventory management much easier. Not that that seems to be a paradigm here. And if we are going to have laser weapons done soon, we should also go to the black market and just see if we can sell anything off. Really all we care about is what they're very interested in. I'm not going to give you this combat awareness mod, even if you are very interested in it. That thing is really useful. We give that to Jay-Z. He gets a huge defense boost and bonus on armor on almost every turn. We have to pull the trigger on this, right? You're saying, P, you can't sell an Illyrium core. They're hard to get, and you're going to need those in the late game. Yeah, okay. I'm not arguing with you. You may be right. We may need these in the late game. But if we don't get some supplies, we're never going to make it to the late game to worry about whether or not the fact we have enough Illyrium cores to do the research we want. And 42 supplies is almost as much as we get from a supply drop. So you know what? Yeah, you're sold, Illyrium core. The suppressor, the rest of this stuff, they're very interested in the suppressor as well. But that's too useful for even 10 supplies. That could be the difference between a big infiltration bonus and a crummy one. All right, then. I'm down with that. So, what do we... Okay. We're waiting for the drunk tank. We have 98 intel. I sort of feel like we should go make contact with the Western United States, then. This is going to take 80 of our available intel, but this will leave us with 98. This seems respectable. Also, it gives us an opportunity to, get some more supplies on our supply drop each month, and it might finish before the drunk tank has to go in. It did actually finish. All right, beautiful. Now we've got another place for Faceless to, take over the world. Yet one more location to be infiltrated by an endless armada of Faceless. Shouldn't, at this point, we have been developing some sort of test for Faceless? We really got to come up with a scanning protocol, or, there's got to be something we can do. In Terminator, they use dogs. Can we use dogs? Can they sniff out a Faceless? Should we have Bradford start like a German Shepherd training program? Probably not Bradford, because really the only thing he would do is treat him to drink and swear a lot. So that's done. We need... We're going to need a Resistance Haven manager, because I'm not... At no point any longer am I going to have a Resistance Haven that does not have somebody overlooking it. If you leave it unattended, they just get infested with Faceless in like 9.5 seconds, and it's just pointless. So Western United States, yeah, you're getting a Haven advisor. Is it going to be Bill Cosby? Yes, I'm sorry. Make sure to only drink something that you yourself have poured. That's the only advice I can give you. Keep a lid on your sports bottle when you're down in the gym. Make sure that it's screwed firmly on, and consider duct taping it so that it can't be unscrewed as well. Western United States, I guess we can just go back to scanning. Does it really matter? Why is Advent Strength going up? It was at a 2.
Setting
I would really like some feedback on what these advent strength ratios mean also. I would love to get like some sort of something that helps me out a little bit. Charlie Sheen is now a flashbanger. Fantastic. What other ability did you potentially pick up, Chuck? Let's take a look. AWC abilities. Yes, I want to see what ones he has. I want to train him. So Executioner still rapid deploy. Well, yeah, flashbanger and rapid deployment means Charlie could throw a flashbang, then move, then shoot. That's really good. So yes, begin training on that, Charlie. That seems like a really strong combination. And then we're just going to scan until the drunk tank's infiltration is ready to go. You know, we got 8 more hours, so I'm content to wait. All right, this is it. So 25 intel and an intel package. Enemy activity is very light. So that means we're looking at like 12 to 15 guys. So basically 4 pods. Destroy the alien relay, find a lead. All right, let's do this. See, now this, since we already have a lead, I think is the kind of mission that in the future we could be willing to skip in favor of something a little more lucrative. Got Don the Stomp a King back there. We got a lot of people out here. A lot of flashlights hitting the floor. We're going to Shadow Street, Toronto to floor ourselves a little flashlight rave. Give me that dank house music, yo. Got the flashlights hitting the floor. Woo! It's a rave. Glow sticks, everybody. Yeah! Why do I have a feeling this mission is going to be very much not like a rave? So we have a big team here. We've got, what, 7 guys? We managed to infiltrate with a team of 7. Holy shit pickles. So I'm going to be much more inclined to fight then. If we got a 7-man team, now granted 3 of those guys are rookies, but very light, that means like 15 enemies roughly. Or at least this has been my experience. I'm working off entirely supposition here. I know they have some infiltration calculators and tools and whatnot that are available, but as I understand it, even those things are not always accurate. Because there's a bunch of hidden crap that Pavonis has thrown in that people haven't puzzled out yet. Sometimes missions will just have like twice as many enemies as they're supposed to. Could be a bug, nobody actually knows. Could be a bug, could be intentional, could be like a trap. So we gotta get to that relay. We are here and we have 12 turns. Okay, I mean, it's not ludicrously far away. Tanya Harding is our shinobi. All right, Tanya. Let's get to work here. We're going to start with the scouting. And again,
these mutons seem a little more agile.
There's a fucking muton on this mission.
It looks like they're still serving as the aliens' front line, though.
Okay, so no, we're not doing this mission. If there's mutons on here, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not fighting this mission. We're gonna fall back and we're gonna evac. Pete, this seems really cowardly. Yeah, well, that muton can kill our whole team. If we cluster him up and put him in a grenade, he can kill all of them by himself. So, you know what? No, I'm not doing this mission. We're going to find some places that have, like, respectable cover. We're going to call for evac, and we're just going to leave because I can't do this mission. I am not getting everybody killed in what is already absolutely hopeless. We have 12 turns. We would have to kill a muton. In order to kill that muton, we're going to have to make a truckload of noise to get him dead. Every other pod on the map is going to collapse on us. It's not a winnable fight. If we see a muton, we run. That's it. He's Agent Smith, and this is the Matrix. I'm sorry, Mouse. Every one of these civilians, by the way, is also an agent of the system. And I would love to have a little bit of alone time with the lady in the red dress. But the one thing we do, you see an agent, you do what we do. We run. We run. And that's what we're doing.
Understood.
I am not going to fight that guy. I'm not. We cannot, we cannot win. I'm going to get 1 turn to get everybody in the position where I want them in, and then I'm calling in evac, and we're going to run like hell. Oh, great gameplay, Pete. Hey, what do you want? I'm sorry. We have... Patrol away, please. I'm going to wait for these guys to patrol away, although, honestly, I actually don't think they're ever going to patrol away from us. I'm pretty sure they're only going to patrol towards us. This is almost exactly the same thing we had last time that torched our entire campaign. We had a mission where there was a muton that did nothing but patrol over to us until it fucking stepped on someone, and then everybody got killed. And on that mission, we only had 3 people. On this one, we have like 7. There's got to be some kind of mechanic where the AI is like trying to trap us. They're never going to patrol away. They're never going to patrol away from us, ever. We should, in fact, the smart move would be to run the other direction. This is, yeah, I'm not getting, okay, fine. I'm not getting trapped in a corner then. We're going to go this way.
Running.
I don't care about cover. All I care about is getting away from these guys to buy me some turns so that I can run like hell.
Location confirmed.
We're going to evac. I cannot fight that pod.
Got it.
It's 4 guys strong, one of whom is a muton. One of whom is also a... No, this mission... This is not very light resistance, by the way. There's got to be some kind of mechanic. Maybe because we generated this mission and there was a faceless in our haven when we did it. So this is like a trap. There's got to be a way to figure out the mechanic of when a mission is doable and when it's one of these ridiculous pieces of shit that just... It doesn't matter what you send on this mission, you cannot succeed. Which, by the way, is a mechanic that I very, very much dislike. There is no amount of tactics we could have used here that's ever going to let us turn this into a winnable engagement. They better have patrolled. I guarantee they're still closing on us. Okay. I think we come over here. There's a lot of full cover. We just hunker down. Also, we're actively moving away from the objective, so if I stumble into another pod, my salt levels are just going to be through the absolute fucking roof. We already got a joke mission that was basically just like, oh yeah, try and do this. This was... There's only one thing about this mission that I'm glad of. And I know this is a lot of fury and salt, but I really feel like the Long War mod has some significant balance issues and things that are... Many of the mechanics are just vastly too obscure. It's not something that, unless you're willing to just put in, like, Talmudic yeshiva levels of research on, you can pick up and play casually, and that's... You know, I don't have time to sit and study for 5.5 hours like I'm trying to pass my MCATs or something to play a video game. It's too much work. So there's evac. That does burn our concealment. What are we going to do? We're just going to sit here and overwatch. We want to try and get our best overwatchers over in the direction where we know there's a pod, and we'll have some of our less talented people over here covering the back. But this mission is a failure. It was never going to succeed. This is a mission in which we had no chance from the start. So, this is a little bit of a harsh statement to say, but oftentimes in the Long War, the best move is not to play. And as sad as I start thinking about it, it seems like maybe that's true for the mod as well as this mission. It needs some work. It really does need some work. Everybody's going to be running at us. We're going to wind up fighting like 6 pods and just sitting here trying not to die. All we're going to do is overwatch so that when if they wander into us, we've got as big of an advantage as we can possibly get. I would love to get out of this without ever firing a shot. I just want to go. This mission is untenable. We cannot do this mission. We cannot do it. I cannot beat a mutant. With grazes in the game, that would be all it would take, is for us to have a shotgunner run up next to a muton, roll a graze, and suddenly everybody is dead. There's no way we're going to be able to fight through that and get to this data transfer and do a truckload of damage to it in 12 turns, because it flashed the objective at the beginning of the episode. That thing had an absolute asinine amount of health, too. So we're leaving. I want to go look at the health total, too, though, just to get, like, just a reminder. Look how much health this thing has. What is this? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20 health on that relay. That's our whole team shooting at it and doing nothing but shooting at it and hitting it for an entire turn. Our whole team doing nothing but trying to kill that thing. And they, honestly, they still might not be able to do it. 20 damage, they might not be able to generate that much.
Okay, I'll go.
Nope, that's it. You're damn skippy, we're going. We're getting the hell out of here. I'm not getting troopers injured and wounded in what is a hopeless situation from the beginning. Spot the hopelessness and just immediately run. This is the only play that makes sense. Fighting this mission, no, we're not doing it. I can't beat a muton. Without better weaponry, if all we have is basic assault weapons, mutons are just out of our reach. They've got 2 armor, they have a bunch of health, and more than anything, it's their aim and grenades, because a muton has huge aim, they're not going to miss, and if we get them in a situation where they even have the opportunity to throw a grenade at us, someone is not injured but just straight up dead. Or several someones if you've got people bunched up. Am I spending a lot of times rationalizing the fact that we're running away from this mission? Probably, but I'm only rationalizing it because I feel cowardly and awful about having done this. This is the opposite of fun for both me and you. All we did was go in there, waste a bunch of time that we could have spent training our soldiers, infiltrating on a mission that was, from the jump, absolutely fucking unwinnable. I'm just glad we spotted the Muton. I'm trying to imagine what would have happened if we had actually gone forward and maybe engaged a pod and then had that Muton run into us. Yeah, you know what? All of you take your heads out of your hands. Every single one of you. The game set us up for failure. This is not your fault. Don King, remember, only in America can you be shanghaied into a bullshit mission where you have no chance of victory from the jump. Only in America will we pull this kind of stupid bullshit in the name of fun. You know, challenging is fine, but also just unfun. I don't want to play a game where it constantly feels like somebody's smashing my head in a vice. I'm not saying, I don't know. I really feel like Long War 2 needs some work. It needs a lot of work. On the plus, how did we get promotions for going on a mission to where we literally did nothing but run away? That's just an absurdly stupid mechanic. I can deploy people on a mission. Why would we ever train rookies then? Don King got promoted to Lance Corporal and did nothing. So you should never train rookies in the Long War 2. There is no point in actually training a rookie. You should never do it. When you get somebody, you just send them on a mission, have them infiltrate, and immediately evac. And then they get upgraded. Oh, good, Mark Wahlberg became a sharpshooter. Well, I guess Bill Cosby's off Haven sitting duty. Tim Allen, a specialist, which is good. We actually needed another specialist. What's your hacking like? Well, it's 52 now, which means it was terrible before. But still, hey, free rookie. So as long as you don't care what class your rookies are, there's no reason to even send them on a mission and try. Alley Speed Bump Barry became a Grenadier. All right. Hey, free Grenadier. We saved ourselves a whole bunch of training time with that. That's a stupid mechanic, by the way. We should not be granted EXP for a mission in which we did literally nothing. There's no reason to, that makes me wonder if the first thing you should build on your campaign is actually then a guerrilla tactics school. Because if you could just send rookies on a mission, if you can go out and throw to your advantage and get EXP for a failed mission, why would you waste time training rookies when you could just send them out on one mission you don't give a shit about, have them run away and throw? All you need to do is have a go full infiltration so their evac timer is fast. Did we just discover a mechanic? I kind of feel like maybe we just discovered a thing that we can exploit on campaigns in the future. After the first mission, just no more rookies. Everybody's immediately promoted. The only drawback is you can't assign them squads to try and fulfill their abilities, but I don't know if necessarily that's that big of a wash. If you had somebody who was really good at something, you could always take them to the guerrilla tactics who will be like, oh, this guy has a god at hacking. He would make an excellent specialist. But if you had people who were just mediocre sort of across the board and you didn't care where they wound up, it seemed there's no logical reason to not do it. So Western United States, we're pulling Bill Cosby off of here. And that's it. I think we're going to take Mark Big Hit Wahlberg and put him on Haven Advisoring because that's his permanent position now. Welcome to your desk, Mark. The Wahlburgers franchise is going to be popping off because you're going to have a lot of time to work on your special recipes there from behind your desk. I'm going to check out because I feel like an absolute abject coward, but I'm sorry. I'm a little gun shy after the Muton managed to torch our last campaign. The mission that had a Muton on it also had a giant death robot and a bunch of just like stuff we were not equipped to deal with. I'm not letting that mission torch another campaign. It was also about this many missions deep into it last time. I'm beginning to wonder if there's not just like some sort of hard-coded mission that's just a stupid trap. And the only thing that they're trying to teach us is that you should run from this mission. But we can't fight a Muton, and I'm not letting it happen. I'd rather lose the mission, feel like a coward, and have no fun and provide no entertainment than to torch the, what is this, like our 12th mission in this series, something like that? Than to torch roughly 12 hours of gameplay because I just was too stupid to give up. No, sometimes you get licked. Sometimes you do the licking, sometimes you get licked. Especially if you're, hanging out with Tanya Harding in a strip club. But that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot. It would also make me feel like less of an abject coward. If you'd like to see more cowardice and flight at the first sign of opposition or trouble, you might consider subscribing as well, because it seems like that's the new paradigm for the Long War. Right now, though, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.